In the heart of a world characterized by bustling metropolises, ceaseless digital connections, and the relentless march of time, there exists a timeless haven of serenity and simplicity, the town of Willowbrook. Our story unfolds in this idyllic haven, where the symphony of nature's whispers blends seamlessly with the warm greetings of neighbors, and the seasons dance in harmonious rhythm. In this 7-chapter narrative, we will accompany Sarah, a young woman seeking solace and renewal in the embrace of Willowbrook's rustic charm. It is a tale that delves deep into the tapestry of daily life, interwoven with a rich vocabulary of English words, 700 to be precise, each selected with care to vividly paint the portrait of this quaint town and its inhabitants. Prepare to embark on a journey that transports you to a place where the air is scented with blooming wildflowers, and the rhythm of life follows the gentle cadence of a babbling brook. Sarah's story unfolds as a tribute to the extraordinary beauty of ordinary moments, where the mundane is celebrated, the bonds of community are treasured, and the changing seasons bring new perspectives. Join us as we step into the life of Sarah, a newcomer who finds not only a home but also her true self amidst the everyday wonders of Willowbrook. Through her eyes, we'll explore the intricacies of this charming town, witnessing the warmth of its people, the richness of its traditions, and the transformative power of embracing life's simple pleasures. This is a tale of rediscovery, resilience, and the profound sense of belonging that can be found in the heart of a place like Willowbrook. So, without further ado, let us turn the page and embark on this enchanting journey through the pages of Sarah's life in this captivating town, where everyday English words paint a vivid canvas of daily life.
Chapter 1: A New Beginning. The sun, still lingering on the horizon, cast a warm, golden hue across the rolling hills of Willowbrook as Sarah gazed out of her cottage window. It had been just a few weeks since she had arrived in this charming town, leaving behind the relentless pace of city life. The city, with its towering skyscrapers and neon lights, had begun to feel like a never-ending maze, suffocating her with its demands and chaos. But now, as Sarah stood in her cozy cottage, the sweet scent of wildflowers wafted in from the open window, carrying with it a sense of freedom and tranquility. The daily rush-hour traffic was replaced by the serene rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze, and the constant hum of life in the city gave way to the melodic chirping of birds, a serene soundtrack to her newfound life. Sarah had been drawn to Willowbrook by a longing for simplicity, a desire to live in harmony with nature, and a yearning for genuine human connection. Her decision to start anew had been met with mixed reactions from friends and family. Some had questioned her sanity, wondering why she would trade the conveniences of urban life for the unknowns of a small town. But Sarah had always been a seeker, someone who found solace in the quiet corners of libraries and the rustling of leaves in the forest. The decision to move to Willowbrook felt like a calling, a whisper from her inner self that it was time for a change, a fresh start. As she unpacked her belongings, carefully placing her favorite books on the rustic wooden shelves, she couldn't help but smile at the simplicity of it all. Her cottage, though modest, felt like a sanctuary, a place where she could finally breathe. The sound of a nearby stream trickling over smooth pebbles provided a soothing background melody as she went about her daily tasks. The townspeople had been welcoming, their faces etched with the lines of wisdom and kindness. Sarah had introduced herself to Mrs. Henderson, her next-door neighbor, and the two had quickly become friends. Mrs. Henderson's basket of freshly baked bread served as a warm greeting, a gesture of goodwill that touched Sarah's heart. With every passing day, Sarah felt more at home in Willowbrook. She relished the opportunity to connect with the community, to learn about their traditions, and to become a part of their tapestry. The town's farmers' market had become a regular stop on her weekly routine, and she reveled in the vibrant colors and fragrant aromas of fresh produce. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, orange glow over the meadows, Sarah knew that her decision to start anew in Willowbrook was the right one. This was the beginning of a journey that promised not just simplicity and serenity but also the chance to rediscover herself and find meaning in the everyday moments that had once been drowned out by the cacophony of city life. In Willowbrook, under the expansive canvas of the starlit sky, Sarah felt the first whispers of a new chapter in her life, a chapter filled with promise and the possibility of transformation. This was a place where the daily English vocabulary of life took on a deeper, more meaningful resonance, and Sarah was ready to embrace it all.
Chapter 2: A Friendly Welcome. In Willowbrook, the essence of hospitality flowed through the town like a gentle, meandering stream. As Sarah continued to settle into her new life, she discovered that the townspeople weren't just welcoming, they were eager to extend their open arms and invite her into their close-knit community. One sunny morning, while Sarah was tending to her garden, she heard a cheerful voice from over the white picket fence that separated her property from Mrs. Henderson's. Turning toward the source of the sound, she saw a sprightly elderly woman approaching, her silver hair glinting in the sunlight. This was her neighbor, Mrs. Henderson. With a twinkle in her eye and a warm smile on her lips, Mrs. Henderson introduced herself and held out a wicker basket filled with the most enticing aroma of freshly baked bread. The gesture was so genuinely warm that it touched Sarah's heart, making her feel instantly at ease. "Welcome to Willowbrook, dear," Mrs. Henderson said, her voice soft and melodic. "I thought you might appreciate a taste of my homemade bread. It's a little tradition I have, sharing it with new neighbors." Touched by the kindness of her neighbor, Sarah accepted the basket with gratitude. The bread was warm and crusty, a testament to Mrs. Henderson's culinary skill. It was a simple but meaningful gesture, one that made Sarah feel not just like a newcomer but like a valued member of the Willowbrook community. Over the following weeks, Sarah and Mrs. Henderson formed a bond that transcended mere neighborly acquaintanceship. They shared stories over cups of tea, exchanged gardening tips, and often found themselves laughing heartily over anecdotes from their lives. Mrs. Henderson became not only a friend but a guide, helping Sarah navigate the rhythm of life in Willowbrook. But it wasn't just Mrs. Henderson who extended a friendly welcome. As Sarah ventured out into the town to run errands or explore, she found that the shopkeepers, farmers, and fellow residents were equally warm and welcoming. Conversations flowed effortlessly, and strangers became friends in the blink of an eye. The town's farmers' market, held every Saturday in the heart of Willowbrook, became one of Sarah's favorite destinations. Here, she met vendors who greeted her with enthusiasm, offering fresh produce and homemade goods. She couldn't resist the allure of juicy apples, plump tomatoes, and vibrant bell peppers, all sourced from nearby farms.
Each visit was an opportunity to not just fill her basket, but to engage in lively conversations, share recipes, and learn about the hard work that went into producing these bounties of nature. As Sarah walked through the market, the sun warming her face and a gentle breeze tousling her hair, she couldn't help but marvel at how quickly she had become a part of this vibrant tapestry. Willowbrook wasn't just a town, it was a living, breathing community where people looked out for one another, where smiles and greetings were as abundant as the produce at the market. Chapter 2 was more than just a friendly welcome. It was an introduction to the heartwarming hospitality that enveloped Willowbrook, a town where friendship and kindness were woven into the very fabric of daily life. For Sarah, it was a reassurance that her decision to start anew in this charming place was more than just a change of location. It was a chance to be embraced by the warmth of genuine human connection.
Chapter 3: A sense of community. In the heart of Willowbrook, where the town square bustled with activity, Sarah discovered the true essence of community. It was a feeling that resonated in the laughter of children playing in the park, in the stories exchanged between friends on park benches, and in the vibrant pulse of life that seemed to permeate every corner of the town. One sunny afternoon, as Sarah strolled through the town square, she noticed a charming community notice board tucked away beneath the shade of a grand oak tree. Covered in announcements, flyers, and hand-painted signs, it was a reflection of Willowbrook's collective spirit. Intrigued, she approached it and began to read. The notices on the board ranged from upcoming events and town meetings to offers of help from neighbors and small businesses advertising their services. There was an announcement for a summer festival that promised music, dancing, and a pie baking contest. Another notice invited townsfolk to participate in a community cleanup day, where they would come together to beautify the park. With each notice she read, Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of belonging. She realized that Willowbrook was a place where everyone played a role in shaping the community, where each individual contributed to the town's tapestry. It was more than just a collection of houses. It was a collective effort to nurture a sense of togetherness. Eager to immerse herself further in this vibrant community, Sarah decided to attend a town meeting held at the charming town hall, a picturesque building with a white picket fence and flower-filled window boxes. Inside, the hall was filled with people of all ages, each with a unique story and a shared commitment to the betterment of Willowbrook. The meeting began with a warm welcome from the town's mayor, Mr. Henderson, a kindly gentleman with a penchant for storytelling. He spoke of the town's history, its traditions, and the importance of community involvement. Sarah listened attentively, feeling like a participant in a timeless tradition. As the meeting progressed, Sarah introduced herself to fellow attendees and found herself in the company of like-minded individuals who shared her passion for gardening and a deep appreciation for the natural beauty that surrounded Willowbrook. She learned about the town's gardening club, where residents gathered to cultivate lush community gardens, and she decided to join. In the weeks that followed, Sarah found herself nurturing not only her own garden but also the bonds of friendship that blossomed within the gardening club. Together, they tended to the town's public gardens, transforming them into vibrant, blooming havens of color and fragrance. Sarah also signed up for yoga classes at the town's community center, where she discovered another facet of Willowbrook's sense of community. The classes weren't just about physical well-being, they were a chance to connect with neighbors, share stories, and find inner peace in the company of others. Through these experiences, Sarah felt the threads of her life in Willowbrook weaving together into a beautiful tapestry. It wasn't just about her personal journey anymore, it was about becoming a part of something larger than herself, a community where people leaned on each other for support, celebrated together, and created a sense of belonging that was truly special. Chapter 3 was a testament to the enduring spirit of community in Willowbrook, a place where neighbors became friends, where shared values and common goals united individuals, and where the town's traditions and gatherings offered a sense of purpose and togetherness. For Sarah, it was a realization that she had found not just a place to live, but a place to belong.
Chapter 4 – Exploring Nature. As Sarah settled into her life in Willowbrook, she couldn't help but be captivated by the natural beauty that surrounded the town. The picturesque landscape, with its lush forests, winding trails, and babbling brooks, beckoned her to explore the great outdoors and discover the wonders of nature. One crisp morning, armed with a backpack filled with essentials and her trusty hiking boots, Sarah embarked on an adventure into the wilderness that embraced Willowbrook. She had heard whispers of hidden trails and serene spots from her newfound friends, and she was eager to experience the tranquility of the forest for herself. The forest welcomed her with open arms, its towering trees providing shade from the dappled sunlight that filtered through the leaves. The soft crunch of leaves beneath her boots served as a soothing backdrop to her journey, and the air was filled with the earthy scent of moss and ferns. Sarah encountered a variety of wildlife on her hikes. Squirrels darted among the branches, their fluffy tails leaving a trail of curiosity in their wake. Rabbits hopped through the underbrush, and the occasional deer made a graceful appearance, their eyes filled with a serene wisdom that left her in awe. Birdsong accompanied her every step, a symphony of melodies that shifted with the changing terrain. She marveled at the vivid plumage of cardinals and the delicate grace of bluebirds, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the verdant surroundings. One of her favorite spots was a hidden clearing by a babbling brook. The water, crystal clear and sparkling in the dappled sunlight, seemed to beckon her to its banks. Here, Sarah would often pause to sit on a moss-covered boulder, dipping her fingers into the cool water and feeling a profound connection to the natural world. She would unpack a simple picnic, often featuring fresh produce from the farmer's market, and savor the flavors of a wholesome meal in the company of birdsong and the gentle babbling of the brook. It was in these moments that Sarah felt truly alive, as if she had rediscovered a part of herself that had long been dormant. Sarah's love for nature extended beyond solitary hikes. She soon began inviting her new friends to join her on these outdoor escapades. Together, they explored the trails, shared stories around a campfire, and reveled in the simple joys of roasting marshmallows under the starlit sky. The changing seasons brought their own magic to Willowbrook's natural wonders. In the fall, the forest transformed into a canvas of fiery reds, oranges, and yellows. Sarah and her friends embarked on apple-picking adventures, their laughter ringing through the orchards as they plucked juicy apples from the branches. Winter brought a serene charm to the town, and Sarah continued to explore the outdoors even in the colder months. She bundled up in warm layers and ventured into the snow-covered forests, her breath forming delicate puffs in the chilly air. The town's residents organized winter hikes and cross-country skiing trips, celebrating the beauty of the season. Chapter 4 was a testament to the enchanting beauty of Willowbrook's natural surroundings and the profound connection that Sarah forged with nature. It was a reminder that, in the embrace of the wilderness, she discovered not only the wonders of the outdoors but also a sense of peace and belonging that transcended the everyday. Nature had become her sanctuary, a place where she could find solace, inspiration, and a deep appreciation for the world around her.
Chapter 5: Seasonal Delights. In Willowbrook, the changing seasons were not just markers of time but opportunities to celebrate life's simple pleasures. Sarah had come to cherish the town's unique way of savoring each season, from the vibrant colors of fall to the serene charm of winter. As the days grew shorter and the leaves began to don their fiery autumn attire, the town of Willowbrook came alive with anticipation. The annual apple-picking season had arrived, and it was a time of joyful community gatherings and festive traditions. Sarah joined her friends and neighbors in orchards dotted with apple-laden trees. They picked crisp, juicy apples and laughed as they reached for the perfect fruit, their baskets gradually filling with the harvest of the season. Children climbed trees, while adults shared stories and recipes, exchanging tips on the best ways to use the apples. The highlight of the fall season was the Willowbrook Harvest Festival. Held in the heart of town, the festival was a lively affair filled with music, dancing, and the intoxicating scent of warm apple pies. Sarah decided to participate in the pie-baking contest, showcasing her newfound culinary skills using the locally grown apples. The festival was a riot of colors, with vendors selling handmade crafts, caramel apples, and warm apple cider. There were games for children, hay rides through the orchards, and a sense of camaraderie that permeated the air. Sarah felt a deep sense of belonging as she joined her neighbors in celebrating the bounty of the season. As fall transitioned into winter, Willowbrook transformed into a winter wonderland. The first snowfall brought a serene charm to the town, blanketing the landscape in pristine white. Sarah's cozy cottage became even cozier as she lit the fireplace, wrapped herself in warm blankets, and watched the snowflakes fall gently outside her window. The townspeople came together to create a holiday market, where local artisans displayed their handcrafted goods. Sarah explored the stalls, marveling at the intricate pottery, knitted scarves, and unique gifts. She found treasures to share with her friends, each one a testament to the creativity and craftsmanship of the Willowbrook community. In the evenings, Sarah would join her neighbors for carol singing by the town square's twinkling Christmas tree. The crisp air echoed with the sweet sounds of familiar carols, and the town was adorned with sparkling lights that turned every corner into a scene from a holiday postcard. The heart of winter was marked by a sense of togetherness. The townsfolk organized a winter solstice celebration, where they gathered around bonfires, shared stories, and toasted to the promise of longer days ahead. The warmth of their company kept the winter chill at bay, and Sarah realized that this was a season of both reflection and celebration. Chapter 5 was a testament to the town's ability to find joy in the changing seasons, celebrating the beauty of each one with a sense of community and togetherness. Willowbrook had taught Sarah to embrace the rhythm of nature and the richness of seasonal delights, reinforcing her love for a life filled with simple pleasures and the warmth of human connection.
Chapter 6: Challenges and Triumphs. Life in Willowbrook, though idyllic, was not without its fair share of challenges. In Chapter 6, Sarah learned that even in the most picturesque of places, adversity could be a catalyst for growth and transformation. One rainy evening, as the heavens unleashed a torrential downpour, Sarah heard the unmistakable sound of dripping water inside her cottage. Rushing to investigate, she discovered a leaky roof. Water had seeped in through the ceiling, forming a growing puddle on her hardwood floor. It was her first experience with a home maintenance crisis, and initially, panic gripped her. She remembered her father's words about the importance of self-reliance, and with newfound determination, she decided to tackle the issue herself. Armed with a ladder, buckets, and a makeshift patch, she climbed onto her roof in the pouring rain to stop the leak. Sarah's neighbors, ever attentive to one another's well-being, noticed her predicament and rushed to her aid. They brought tools, materials, and the invaluable gift of experience. Together, they patched up the roof, sharing stories and laughter as the rain subsided. In that moment, Sarah realized that in Willowbrook, no challenge was insurmountable when faced with the support of her caring community. As the seasons changed, Sarah encountered another hurdle in her journey. Her vegetable garden, which she had lovingly tended to with the guidance of her fellow gardening club members, fell victim to a persistent army of pests. Her once thriving tomatoes, cucumbers, and zucchinis were now under siege. Frustration and disappointment threatened to overwhelm her, but Sarah didn't give up. She sought advice from experienced gardeners in Willowbrook and experimented with natural pest control methods. With patience and perseverance, she managed to save her garden and even shared the lessons she had learned with her fellow club members. In her time in Willowbrook, Sarah had discovered that challenges were not roadblocks but stepping stones to personal growth. Each obstacle she faced became an opportunity to learn, to rely on the wisdom of her neighbors, and to cultivate resilience. Her cottage, once just a house, had become a true home, a place where she had learned to embrace the ups and downs of life. Chapter 6 celebrated the triumphs that arose from adversity, highlighting the strength of Sarah's character and the unwavering support of her community. It was a reminder that life, no matter how tranquil, was a series of challenges and triumphs, and it was in the face of these challenges that Sarah had truly grown and thrived in Willowbrook.
Chapter 7: A Heartfelt Farewell. Time in Willowbrook had unfolded like the pages of a cherished book, each chapter revealing new experiences, deepening connections, and the transformative power of embracing simplicity and community. Now, as Sarah stood at the threshold of Chapter 7, she found herself reflecting on the bittersweet nature of farewells. Life, like the seasons, was ever-changing, and Sarah's heart was divided. While her time in Willowbrook had been filled with warmth, growth, and meaningful connections, she had begun to feel the gentle pull of new horizons. A yearning for fresh adventures and the unknown beckoned her, and she knew it was time to leave her beloved town. The townspeople of Willowbrook, upon hearing of her impending departure, came together to celebrate the bonds they had formed with Sarah. In the town square, a farewell party was organized, complete with a potluck dinner and heartfelt speeches. It was a testament to the profound impact Sarah had made on the community in her time there. Neighbors and friends shared stories of their adventures, the challenges they had overcome together, and the joy they had found in her company. There were tears of gratitude and laughter, and Sarah was overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and warmth from her Willowbrook family. As the evening wore on, Sarah found herself surrounded by her closest friends, including Mrs. Henderson, who had been there with a basket of freshly baked bread on her very first day in Willowbrook. Mrs. Henderson, with tears in her eyes, presented Sarah with a beautifully crafted photo album filled with memories of their time together. "I want you to remember us," Mrs. Henderson said, her voice filled with emotion. "And remember that you will always have a home here in Willowbrook." The words touched Sarah's heart, and she knew that the bonds she had formed in this town would stay with her forever, no matter where her journey took her. As the days passed, the time for her departure drew near. Sarah spent her last moments in Willowbrook walking through the familiar streets, visiting her favorite spots, and relishing the beauty of the town one last time. She watched the sunrise over the meadows, listened to the birdsong, and felt the gentle breeze on her face, committing every sensation to memory. On the morning of her departure, the townspeople gathered to bid her farewell. There were hugs, well wishes, and promises to stay in touch. The Willowbrook community had taught Sarah the true meaning of friendship and the importance of cherishing the moments that enriched her life. As she drove away from the town, her heart heavy with a mix of emotions, Sarah knew that she was leaving behind a piece of her soul in Willowbrook. Yet, she also carried with her the lessons, memories, and the enduring spirit of community that had shaped her time there. Willowbrook had been more than just a place to live, it had been a place to grow, to connect, and to discover the beauty in everyday life. And as the town faded into the rearview mirror, Sarah looked forward to the adventures that lay ahead, knowing that the lessons and friendships she had found in the pages of this beautiful chapter of her life would forever guide her on her journey.